Hello students, welcome once again. In our today's video, we are going to study preparation methods for suppositories or manufacturing methods of suppositories. So let's begin with our today's video. So students, let me tell you that suppositories are prepared by four general methods, and these methods are, so first one, that is hand mold method or hand rolling method. Second is compression mold or cold compression method. Third one is fusion or melt mold method or pour molding method. And last one is automatic molding method. Getting? So let's understand each of these methods one by one. So we'll be starting with hand mold method or hand rolling method. So students, this is the oldest and easiest method of suppository preparation. In this method, what is done is the mixture of the drug and suppository bases are mixed together and rolled by hand to provide the shape of the suppositories. However, students, this method is not used now because it's time consuming process and quite difficult. Getting? So, we'll be seeing the steps involved in hand molding. So, the steps are the drugs and other additives are made into fine powders. Then, it is incorporated into suppository base by kneading with it or by triturating in a mortar. Next is, then these masses are rolled into the shape of a cylindrical rod on the rolling tile in presence of lubricant to prevent the adherence of the masses. And finally, it is cut into rods and its one end is made pointed. Getting? So this is in general method. Here you can see the graphical or the flowchart wise representation of the same. So drug plus additive, then it is finely powdered, then it is mixed with suitable base, then applying lubricants on rolling tile, then above mass are rolled in cylindrical shape, then cut the rods, packed and stored. Getting? So this is a very simple one, that is hand mold method. Now we'll be seeing the advantages of this method. So students, this is suitable for thermolabile ingredients, that is those substances which get degraded with the or in the presence of heat. Okay, then it is economical for the manufacturer of small number of suppositories. However, it has disadvantages like no uniformity in shape and size of the suppository. Also, it is a laborious process as well as time consuming. Getting? So now moving to the second method, that is compression mold or cold compression method. So students, the cold compression method is very popular method of preparing suppositories. In this method, heating is not required. That's why it's applicable for thermolabile as well as insoluble drugs. The ingredients are mixed with a suppository base. Then the prepared mass is placed on power operated compression machine. Students, this method is not suitable for any base, that is such as we have glycerol or gelatin base in which melting is essential. Getting? So this is the image of this mold. So we'll be talking about its construction. The compression machine consists of a cylinder, piston, mold and a metallic stop plate at the bottom. Okay, so now we'll be seeing its working. So student, here is the working. In the compression machine, the suppository masses is placed into the cylinder which is then closed. Pressure is applied from one end to release the mass from the other end into the suppository mold or die. Getting? Then when the die is filled with the mass, a movable end plate at the back of the die is removed, and when additional pressure is applied to the mass in the cylinder, the formed suppositories are ejected. The end plate is returned and the process is repeated until all of the suppository masses has been used. Getting? So this is again the flowchart representation of the same. So the drug plus additive, which is powdered finely or finely powdered, mixed with the base. Lubricants are applied to the mold. Okay. Then place the masses in the cylinder, apply pressure, release suppository, and it is cooled. Okay. And then it is packed and stored. Now looking at its advantages, so it is suitable for thermolabile drugs as heat is not required in this method. However, there is also no possibility of settling of insoluble solids in base, and the rate of production is more. However, the main disadvantage of this method is air entrapment that occurs during production. Therefore, oxidation may take place in suppositories. Okay, so now moving to the next method, that is fusion, which is also known as melt mold method or pour molding method. Okay, dear students, this method is also called as heat method. In this, first what is done is the base material is melted, preferably on the water or a steam bath to avoid local overheating. Then the active ingredients are either emulsified or suspended in it, that is the drug is dispersed into the suppository base, and finally the mass is poured into cooled mold or metal molds, which are usually made up of metals and are usually coated with nickel or chrome. Okay, so before molding, the mold is lubricated properly. Then the hot mixture of the suppository base and the drug is poured into the mold and cooled into the ice bath. Then the suppositories are removed from the mold. Then the excess material is removed from it. Okay, this process is mostly used for dispensing purpose. The fusion method can be used with all type of suppositories and must be used with most of them. Small scale molds are capable of producing 6 to 12 suppositories in a single operation, whereas industrial molds produce hundreds of suppositories from a single molding. Okay, so this is the stepwise process. Okay, so initially drug is dispersed or dissolved in the melted suppository base. It is poured or pour the mixture into the suppository mold and allow cooling in ice bath. Then finished suppositories are removed by opening the mold, and various types and size of molds are available for preparation of suppositories. Molds are made up of generally aluminum alloys, brass, or even of plastic, and are available in 6 to several hundred cavities. Okay, so this is how suppositories are prepared by fusion or melt mold method. Now moving to the last one, that is automatic molding method. So students, the automatic molding method is the fastest method for the bulk production of suppositories. All the process from mixing, filling, ejection and molding are totally automatic. Due to high speed production, the production output is 5,000 to 10,000 suppositories per hour. By automatic machine, the extra material are collected and reused after the solidification of the suppositories. Remember students, the automatic production is comparatively very fast in comparison to that of the other methods what we have seen. However, a huge amount of raw materials are needed, and therefore a special storage area is required for storing of such raw materials. So I hope students you have understood this four method of preparation or manufacturing of suppositories. To summarize, we have seen hand mold method, then compression mold, fusion or melt mold, which is also called as pour molding method, and at last we have seen automatic molding method. Okay, so that's all in this video, students. Thank you.